These are the men of the Granite City Park District, members of the Board of Commissioners and officers. In this film, you will see the results of the official steps they have taken. The actions of the Granite City Park District have changed the recreational habits of Granite City. The largest park in the district, it's the hub of the many activities that function the year round. Financed by a $135,000 bond issue passed in 1921, Wilson Park was opened to the public in 1923. It was Granite City's second park. Wilson Park and Granite City have come a long way since that time. The modern swimming pool at the park only one evidence of the progress made through the years. As Granite City has grown, her parks have grown too. With the expansion of the grounds has also come an expanded program of recreational activities available to the people of Granite City. Back in the 20s, parks to most people meant only a place to cook picnic dinners. Food to be eaten on the familiar wooden picnic tables. That's still true, of course, but there's much. One addition is the touch football program for boys 12 years old. Organized in two leagues, midget for the 7 to 9-year-olds and the junior league for age 10 to 12, the 16 teams utilize over 250 youthful players. Enthusiastic parents handle the cheering sections. The 10-week schedule of the 6-man touch teams culminates with the All-Star game played each year during halftime of a Granite City high school football game. Officials for the games are high school PE instructors. And the coaches are made up of parents of the pint-sized players. 8 games are played each Saturday on Park District property. Like most other elements of the Park District program, the touch football leagues are free of charge. And so are the dances for teenagers like this one held at the Park District Community Center. This particular dance was given to celebrate the opening of a new school. Over 400 teenagers attended. No records here. No, sir. There was real live music played by a local orchestra. The Park District sponsors many such dances throughout the year. For spring, fall, following basketball games, whenever the opportunity presents itself. Of course, the school principals enjoy them too. These gatherings give the teenagers of Granite City a chance to get together socially and in congenial surroundings. And girls, being women, will exchange the latest bit of news whenever they can. From the dance floor to the roller rink is only a short step. Each year, for a 15-week season, the Park District sponsors supervised roller skating for children from the 3rd to 9th grades at a local roller rink. This program has been rolling along like this since 1957. The sessions are held every Tuesday afternoon from 4 till 5:30 from October through March. The average enrollment for roller skating is approximately 200. Through the sponsorship of the Park District, reduced rates are available to the children. Without the advantages of an indoor rink, this type of pleasure would have to wait for the milder days of spring. But ice skating can't wait for weather like that. As soon as it's cold enough each year, the 250-foot circle on the north side of Wilson Park is flooded, so the skates can come out of mothballs for another winter. To ensure the best surface, park employees reflood the rink each night. When it gets too chilly, the skaters can always warm up at the fire. For young misses who like indoor sports, the district sponsors a girls' junior high bowling league. The league bowls every Saturday for 27 weeks, November through April, at a local bowling lane. 175 girls bowl on the 28 teams. They roll 2 games each week. At the end of the season, there are trophies for all winners. And some of the gals could put their dads to shame. Under the sponsorship of the Park District, the girls are able to bowl at a special reduced price. And at the end of the season, the girls have a special treat. There's a mother-daughter banquet to round off the season of hard-fought victories and defeats. Not only the mothers of the girls, but the sponsors of the various teams are invited to celebrate with their standard bearers. Nearly 300 bowlers, mothers and sponsors attend this gathering. Earlier in the day, mothers had paired off with daughters in a tournament. Among the guests were Monsignor Michael Costello, the members of the Granite City Park District Board of Commissioners, their wives, and several guest speakers. Highlight of the program was special speaker, professional football star George Izzo. Handing out the awards here is Park District Commissioner Milton Allen. Doing the honors, Commissioner Clarence Ballmeyer. The Junior High Bowling League, the mother-daughter tournament, and banquets like this are evidence of the cooperation between the Park District and proprietors of commercial, recreational facilities in Granite City. Without such cooperation, many facets of the Park District's recreation program would be impossible. Here, Barry Lohman, President of the Board of Commissioners, takes his turn at handing out some of the many awards. With such an energetic response, the future of one of the most recent developments of the Park District's ever-expanding recreation program seems to be assured. Another once all-male sport seems destined to be taken over by the girls of Granite City. But basketball is still for the men. This is a game in the Classic League, one of 9 sponsored by the Park District. The basketball program was initiated in 1957 with the cooperation of the Board of Education. Games are played at Namioki School, Prather and Coolidge Junior Highs, as well as at the Park District Community Center. Over 800 boys and men from the 3rd grade on up play in the 90 teams in 9 leagues. The season runs from November to March each year. For the older boys and men, there are the Classic, Church, and Senior Teenager Leagues. The latter is for boys from 15 to 19 years old. These leagues play during the evening and are coached by volunteer personnel. The younger leagues play on Saturdays. The 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade leagues are coached by school coaches hired by the Park District. In this way, the youngsters receive a thorough grounding in fundamentals from professionals. All this is furnished at no cost to the children. The 7th and combination 8th and 9th grade leagues are coached by volunteer coaches. To ensure that games are played correctly, registered officials are furnished by the Park District. The potential Rich Williams or Andy Phillips in these games are competing for team trophies, and to them, this is a serious business, just as important as any collegiate or professional cage contest. One of the highlights of the Park District social calendar is the Park District Girls Club Dance. Held each year, it honors the young woman selected as the Park District Community Center Queen. 5 young ladies of the Girls Club are nominated for this honor. One is then elected by the purchase of votes, a legal practice in this case, for a penny apiece. Proceeds go to support the Girls Club. The lucky winner is crowned and enthroned at the dance. This smiling miss is Queen Nancy Jaddoff. Along with the honor, the Queen receives gifts from her subjects. This is a moment that she will always remember. After the formalities are concluded, the newly crowned Queen leads a special dance number. Dancing of quite a different type is also part of the Park District program. Square dancing has come to Granite City in a large way, as anyone can see. This gathering of over 500 youngsters on one floor is the culmination of the square dance season in Granite City. This was the scene at the first annual Granite City Park District Square Dance Jubilee at Memorial High School Gymnasium. Square dancing is another project that the Park District presents with the cooperation of the Board of Education. The gymnasium facilities of Wilson, Namioki, Niedringhouse, Logan, and Coolidge and Prather Junior High Schools, as well as the Park District Community Center, are utilized for this booming form of entertainment. The program is supervised by Robert Boyd. Enrollment in the classes is constantly growing. In 1962, over 1,000 children participated, as compared with 500 the previous year. groups meet once a week from October through March at the schools and the community center. The season ends with a mass finale and display of group dancing. At the present time, the square dance classes encompass grades 4 through 9. It is hoped the program can be expanded to include the high school students and eventually adults. The popularity of this old yet new form of recreation is evidenced by the size of the audience at this Park District Jubilee. Over 1,700 people turned out to see the children perform. The compelling rhythms of this uniquely American dance are hard to resist. Each spring, the grounds of Wilson Park are the scene of another American institution, the Easter egg hunt. Sponsored by local firms and organizations, the hunt gives young bodies the opportunity for exuberant exercise. Here's something even the very young can participate in. Another sure harbinger of spring each year is this parade of youngsters enrolled in the Granite City Park District Baseball League. Over 1,200 boys take part in this popular program. The kickoff parade is the real thing, complete with marching bands to provide music and open cars with officials. Here are President of the Park District Board, Barry Lohman, and Granite City Mayor Leonard Davis. And here are the boys of the Atom Division passing by. These youngsters are all from 7 to 9 years old. Seated in this sporty Corvette is Commissioner Earl Bloomquist. Following him are the boys of the Bantam Division and the Girls Club Queens. The Bantam Division is composed of boys from 9 to 11 years old. The signs denote the different leagues that make up each division. In this car are Commissioner Milton Worthen, Robert Spengler, President of the Board of Education, and Police Chief Ray Willerott. The parade concludes its march at the Ball Diamonds in Wilson Park. Here, the ceremony continues in the dedication of another season of Park District's boys baseball. Mayor Davis pitches the first ball. President of the Park District Board, Barry Lohman, is on the receiving end of the pitch. So, with great flourish and pageantry, the season is underway with a barrage of hits and misses by the elders. Once the formalities are over, the real games begin. League activity begins with parade in May and continues for 12 weeks through August. The 1,200 boys who took part in the 1961 season played on 52 teams in 5 divisions. Each year, with increased popularity, the program grows a bit more. The boys play on the 6 diamonds in Wilson Park. The 5 divisions are Atom, ages 7 to 9, Bantam, ages 9 to 11, as mentioned earlier, and Midget, ages 11 to 13, Juvenile, ages 13 to 15, and the Junior Division for boys from 15 to 17 years old. Each division is composed of from 2 to 4 leagues, while there are from 4 to 6 teams in each league. Add all this up, and it comes out to a total of a lot of boys of all ages playing a lot of baseball. The flag and the respect accorded to it is very much a part of the Granite City Park District Summer Recreation Program. Here are assembled children from all of the 7 recreation centers operated by the district each summer. The free 8-week program begins 1 week after the schools close for vacation. The district, in cooperation with the Board of Education, operates centers at Wilson, Marshall, Namioki, Niedringhouse, McKinley, and Logan schools, as well as at the community center. Once each week, the children from all centers gather at Wilson Park for a gala play day. The flag raising just seen was a part of the opening activities. When this program began in 1950, the enrollment was 250 children. Now, it's in excess of 1,500. Under the leadership of Recreation Director Harold Brown, Mrs. Helen Berkman and staff, the children in the program are kept busy and entertained through the summer weeks. Well-planned and carefully supervised activities fill the days. This newspaper race is one example, and this stampede is another. Other activities like this bike parade at the Wilson School are carried on at the individual centers. The recreation leaders are college graduates, and the assistants are college students who work for the district during their summer vacations. Parents who send their children to this summer recreation program can be assured that the boys and girls are in good hands. The children get a chance to do some exploring, too. Several major field trips are on the schedule each year. Here, Director of Recreation Harold Brown and Mrs. Berkman are seeing that the children get on the fleet of buses that will take them to St. Louis for a trip to the world-famous zoo. Over 700 youngsters were on this excursion. The buses were emblazoned with signs that announced who they were to all they might encounter on their trip. This trip to the zoo and one to Grant's Farm in St. Louis County are annual affairs. In addition to these, in past years, the children have been taken to the Merrimack Caverns, Fair Marquette Park, Busch Stadium for a Cardinal baseball game, and to Springfield, Illinois to visit the Capitol, Lincoln's home, and his tomb. The Recreation Department arranges trips of this type for moms and dads, too. Adult excursions go to University of Illinois and University of Missouri football games, as well as to performances of the Municipal Opera in St. Louis. Probably, though, these children have been to places that their parents have never visited, which is something of a switch. Needless to say, these looks at the world outside are something these youngsters won't forget for a long time. An adjunct to the 8-week summer program is girls softball. These junior high school students play 2 times a week. There are 4 teams in the girls' league. Girls softball isn't the only item in the sports line going on in the district during the summer. No, sir. In addition to the programs already described, a sports camp is maintained. These youngsters are taking a break right now, having lunch. Each summer for 8 weeks, approximately 150 boys from 8 to 13 enroll for training in several sports: football, baseball, basketball, swimming, bowling, and others. The children report to the park each day and are transported by cab to their specific destinations. This project is one of the few that costs any money. The fee is $10 a week. This charge covers the cost of the lunches and an especially imprinted T-shirt. Paralleling the boys' sports camp is a similar program for girls. Another summer project is the presentation of movies at the summer recreation centers. Feature films are shown throughout the day and on Wednesday and Thursday evenings. From 75 to 100 attend the park showings. Each park center also maintains a handicraft workshop during the summer period. 2-hour sessions like this one are held twice each week under the experienced direction of handicraft instructors. This service is available to the children free of charge. The workshops cover the crafts of leatherworking, mosaic tile, and finger painting, as well as the basket weaving shown here, and many other projects. The Park District also works in cooperation with the local Association for the Mentally Retarded for a 2-week period each summer. Tennis is played on Wilson Park's 4 well-maintained tennis courts. An instructor is on hand till dark during the summer months to teach fundamentals to both children and adults. One of the most popular spots in Granite City during the summer months is the swimming pool in Wilson Park. This beautiful pool is a far cry from the old swimming hole. Built in 1940, it replaced the original Wilson Park pool that dated back to 1923. Measuring 50 by 150 feet, it contains 275,000 gallons of water. In 1961, there were over 52,000 admissions. It's open from 1 till 9 daily from June through Labor Day. Season tickets are available for Granite City Park District residents at a nominal charge. Single admissions are 25 cents for children and 60 cents for adults. There are 32 part-time employees on the pool staff, headed by manager Albert Roberts. Here are some of the customers who take advantage of the average of 86 days the pool is open each year. And of course, there are younger customers too. All ages can enjoy the watery pleasures the pool affords. The Learn to Swim program offered in cooperation with the Red Cross is a splendid opportunity for the youngsters. Here, the beginners class is doing a mass swim across the pool, a requirement to pass the course. An average of 300 children enroll for the free 6-week course each year. In 1961, only 92 passed. Another of the requirements to successfully complete the course is to jump from each of the pool's 3 diving boards. Some are graceful, others are not. But the important thing is that they can make a jump, dive, or leap from the high boards. This means they have no fear of the water. Under the leadership of these instructors, each year more children in the Granite City Park District are able to learn to swim and to enjoy their pool. The big day finally arrives for the children who successfully completed all the requirements for the beginner certificate. As was pointed out before, only about 1/3 of those who begin the course pass. However, for those who failed, there's always next year and another chance. This is a double barrel ceremony. The children not only receive a Red Cross certificate from Judy Stilley, but also a certificate from the Park District presented by Recreation Director Harold Brown. As can be plainly seen, the pool does yeoman service for the community. It's available to the children enrolled in the summer recreation program at no cost for 1 swim each day, and it's available to the general public. The district's 8-week summer program is topped off with a giant family-style picnic for all of the children and parents. This is one of those old-fashioned sociable occasions that are so often missed in today's hurry-hurry society. This is a revival of a proud American custom that dates back to an age of surreys and well-turned ankles. It's a friendly occasion that gives young and old alike a chance to meet each other, renew old acquaintances, and make new ones. It's also good for the moms and dads to be somewhere where the children can let off some of that seemingly endless youthful energy. The picnic serves another purpose, too. It gives them the opportunity to meet the talented young people who have been teaching their children sports and crafts, planning the activities, and ensuring a happy summer for the young people of Granite City. All the elements of the picnic are here, even the traditional watermelon eating contest for small boys with big eyes and stomachs to match. It'll be a while before he wants watermelon again. Each of the recreation centers has prepared a skit for the gala celebration. All in all, it's a terrific way to end the summer of fun. Of course, the dads have their chance too. The Granite City Park District operates a booming men's softball program from May to Labor Day. There are 20 teams making use of the lighted diamond in Wilson Park, and there's competition for all ages. Boys from 15 to 19 play in the Senior Teenage League, and for balding oldsters, there's the 35-plus Slow Pitch League. In addition to these, there's also the Church Slow Pitch and the Independent League. Softball is one of the oldest and most popular sports in the Granite City area. Each July 4th, the district sponsors an annual invitational tournament, an event started in 1946. However, here too, the men have to share the sport with the female of the species. Women have invaded softball, and they're probably here to stay. In tune with the times, Wilson Park is now the home base of the famous St. Louis Blues women's softball team. The Blues have called Granite City home since 1958, and they never fail to deliver the same kind of action and skill that their male counterparts in the sport do. Here, the Blues are playing the world champion women's softball team, the Ray Bestis Brakettes of Stratford, Connecticut. Brakettes pitcher Joan Joyce is justly famous for striking out 40 batters in a single game. No mean feat when you consider that a gal's softball game is scheduled for only 7 innings. The Blues play 9 games on their adopted home diamond each year. Normally, admission for those who want to sit and watch is only a thin dime, 10 cents. Occasionally, a benefit game is played, and tickets are then $1. Standing room is free. From the interest the girls have generated in this sport, it seems that the Park District has added an interesting innovation in its varied spring and summer program. Another innovation was inaugurated in 1956. That was the first year of the Music Under the Stars feature. This has proven to be a delight not only for those who participate in it, but obviously also for those who come to hear their fellow townspeople make music. These adults aren't the only music lovers around. Even the very, very young have the opportunity to attend these open-air concerts. The chorus, made up of adults and high school students, numbers from 50 to 75 voices. These vocal concerts are given once each summer, playing to a total audience of about 1,500. The accompanist for these performances was Mrs. Phyllis Stout Cruz. Music Under the Stars is directed by Warren Simpkins. Mr. Simpkins has guided the project from its inception, giving local talent singers like Diana Jo Thues a chance to be heard. Each of these concerts also features guest artists. These are members of the well-known Little Cossacks group from the Russian Orthodox Church. The combination of area guest artists and hometown vocal music adds up to a pleasant way to spend a June evening. But these concerts are not all there is to the Music Under the Stars offerings each summer. The finale of the season is the staging of an operetta by the group. The 4th of July brings with it a festive celebration in Wilson Park, complete with rides, cotton candy, and entertainment. Proceeds from the concessions are used to purchase playground equipment. The annual Independence Day program was initiated in 1960. The affair is another element of the year-round recreation program that can be enjoyed by the whole family. Even those without families can enjoy it too. Orphans from Alton and Maryville are brought over for a day of free rides and refreshments. Highlighting the celebration each year is a mammoth fireworks display that's fired off at 9 o'clock on the evening of the 4th. The dazzling pyrotechnics explode continuously for 45 minutes. As many as 15,000 people gather in the park for this outstanding spectacle. Included are figure displays like these fiery elephants, a glowing fountain, flying rockets, the old reliable, the Statue of Liberty, the breathtaking splendor of a glowing Niagara Falls. And shades of a TV Western, a real stagecoach chase. And, of course, Old Glory. For young and old, it's a safe and sane 4th of July with fireworks. The display comes to a blazing conclusion with a cheery good night from the Granite City Park District. In addition to the vocal concerts in June, the Music Under the Stars group presents an operetta each August. Seen here is a performance of the Gilbert and Sullivan favorite, HMS Pinafore. An ensemble of 65 singers took part in the production. The scenery was painted by one of the cast. That's really doubling in brass in true summer theater tradition. And in preparation for this musical, which was presented twice to a total audience of 1,500, the cast rehearsed in 2.5-hour sessions twice each week. Music Under the Stars director Warren Simpkins initiated the operetta feature of the program in 1957. Previous presentations include a musical version of the life of Stephen Foster and an operetta based on Ozark folk tunes called Smoky Mountain. This type of performance gives the cast members the opportunity to act as well as to sing, opening another avenue for the talents of the people of Granite City. Now, Music Under the Stars utilizes the abilities of high school students, housewives, businessmen, and school teachers. Normally about 50 men and women and 15 students. In the future, Director Simpkins hopes to expand the program and develop groups of junior high students and even elementary pupils. With that kind of vocal activity, the little theater in Wilson Park could ring with the sound of music every night during the summer months. Wilson Park, in summer as well as winter, is a beautiful place. Here, in the many carefully tended beds, grow a profusion of many types of flowers. This blooming greenery is framed by a formal garden. Some beds are bordered with picturesque rocks, while others grow right to the edge of the walks. When in full bloom, the flowers of Wilson Park present a riot of living color to the eye. The flowers, bushes, and grounds of Wilson Park, as well as the other parks of the Granite City Park District, are cared for by a staff of experienced gardeners who work under the supervision of O.H. Williams, Director of Parks. But the flowers that grow rooted into the soil are not the only ones contributing to the scenic display. The floating water lilies complement the earth-bound plants and contrast with the quiet pools of water. Yes, the gardens of Wilson Park offer a beautiful setting for the swimming pool. The man who made this botanical wonderland possible is Ernest Sieveking, shown here at the age of 95 as he inspects his handiwork of past years with Milton Worthen, Park District Commissioner. These men have been intimately connected with the parks of Granite City since 1921. Milton Worthen was one of the original members of the Park Board and is the only one still serving today. In the past, he has served as president of the Park District and is currently Vice President of the Illinois Parks Association. Ernest Sieveking was the first employee hired by the original board back in 1921, and for many years, the only one. He created this garden with his own hands, carefully nurturing and building until the area looks as it does today. The people of Granite City owe a great debt to this man, who even as a retired gentleman, near 190, bears the title Superintendent Emeritus. Between these two men is over 80 years of park experience that has served the residents of the Park District well since that day when the Park District was created and the first piece of property was purchased. Granite City and its parks have come a long way. The beginning was the tiny triangle of Memorial Park. Today there is a complex of 8 parks and a well-balanced recreation program that circles the entire year. But the jewel in the crown, the piece de resistance, is without doubt the 73 acres that are Wilson Park, the site of much of the activity directed by the Park District. Parks still seem to be appreciated most by the little people, it seems. Styles in playground equipment change through the years, but the enjoyment of the youngsters does not. No matter what the device, children still have a ball with it. Of course, the old reliable swings are still here, along with their streamlined companions. And today's youngsters start this swing business at the earliest possible age. The newer playgrounds like this kiddie corral at Maryland Park are examples of advanced design in the play equipment of today. These are examples of the progressive way in which the Park District is maintaining and equipping the expanding play facilities to match the growing population of youngsters in Granite City, a community that is growing in physical size as well as population. These gentlemen, demonstrating the fine art of putting, are completing a hole at the Granite City Engineer Depot Golf Course. 3 of the foursome aren't Army engineers or employees of the depot. They don't have to be. In 1961, the Granite City Park District, working in conjunction with the depot, arranged for Granite Cityans to obtain memberships for the 9-hole course. Instrumental in making this boon for area golfers possible was Henry D. Karangev. Playing in this foursome with him are Colonel Jack Jeffrey of the depot, Commissioner Milton Allen of the Park District, who is in charge of the golf committee, and Frank Ray, Secretary of the Board of Park District Commissioners. In its initial season, the facilities of the depot course were used by 125 people who purchased season memberships at the nominal fee arranged by the district. In addition to making season memberships available to individuals, the Park District itself took out several memberships so that erstwhile golfers who didn't play enough to warrant buying a season ticket could use them as daily memberships. During the course of the linked season, over 1,200 daily memberships were used by the people of Granite City. This action by the Park District, with the assistance of Henry Karangev, put the only golf course in Granite City at the disposal of the residents for the first time. The golfers of the city owe a debt of gratitude to Colonel Charles Waters, Colonel Jeffrey, and Lieutenant Colonel John Ansley for making these links available to them. It is expected that future seasons will see more and more people take advantage of this unique venture in military and civilian cooperation. The magnitude of all the many and diversified recreational programs sponsored by the Granite City Park District is obvious each November at the annual Sports Awards Banquet. Here gathered those who had won during the year and those who had served, the members of the Park District Board of Commissioners, men who served without pay or personal gain to give Granite City a balanced recreation program. Among those present were Milton Worthen, the senior member of the board, Mrs. Worthen, Mrs. Paul Evans, the Reverend Mr. Evans, Mrs. Clarence Baumeier, wife of Commissioner Baumeier, Board President Barry Lohman, Mrs. Lohman, Randall Robertson, attorney for the board, Granite City Mayor Leonard Davis, Mrs. Milton Allen, wife of Commissioner Allen, Mrs. Earl Bloomquist, wife of Commissioner Bloomquist, guest speaker Jerry Norton of the St. Louis Football Cardinals, and the featured guest of the evening, former baseball player and current sports commentator Joe Garagiola, who was an outstanding after-dinner speaker. These people came to this gathering for a dinner, speeches and awards, and a lot more. They came to see success in visible results, the results of a growing recreation program that is picking up momentum and coverage year by year. It's a well-balanced program that serves the needs of a growing, progressive community. Often working with nothing or very little, the Park District has welded a model year-round effort that is the envy of larger cities. Yes, Granite City should be justly proud of what it has done. The Reverend Paul Evans delivered the invocation for the dinner. All were looking forward to hearing from the outspoken Garagiola. It was fitting that this champion of sports commentators, a national as well as a local celebrity, was chosen to address this gathering of amateur champions. It's ironic, a commentary on the development of our society, that the young Joe Garagiola never had the type of opportunity that the children of Granite City have. The planned programs of today are a relatively late development in the evolution of the American way of life. Garagiola, who in addition to being a sports commentator extraordinary, is also an author. His Baseball is a Funny Game is a very funny book, and so is Joe as he steps up to the plate as an after-dinner speaker. After Joe's speech, Commissioner Milton Worthen began the awards program with the presentation of the Park District Appreciation Award to James Holland, who was of great assistance in the building of the Wilson Park Ball Diamonds. The tables were turned a few minutes later when Commissioner Milton Allen honored Commissioner Worthen for 40 years' service to the Park District and the community. Following the honoring of Mr. Holland and Commissioner Worthen, the banquet began to take on the look of a trophy shop as the awarding of 111 different plaques, cups, statuettes, and other trophies began. A tremendous amount of effort, skill, and just plain guts went into the efforts represented in the honors awarded here. Superintendent of Recreation Harold Brown dispensed some of the trophies to the happy winners. All in all, the annual awards are an event to be looked forward to each year, not only by those who work and win, but also by those who watch. Speeches were also in order in September of 1961, when after 14 years in the planning, at last it was possible to dedicate the War Memorial Fountain. The site for the fountain is, fittingly enough, the first park of Granite City, Memorial Park, so named in 1921. The funds were raised by the Granite City Memorial Association, headed by Milton Worthen, who made the presentation. Mayor Leonard Davis complimented the Memorial Association for their efforts. The fountain, flanked by an honor guard, made up of members of all veterans organizations, awaits the flick of the switch that will put it in operation. This fountain in the heart of downtown Granite City is a permanent honor to the community's cherished dead of all wars. The fountain is also a symbol, an indication that over 40 years after this tiny park was dedicated, that progress, change, and improvement are still a vital part of Granite City and its Park District. A Park District in action. A Park District that is doing something for the community and its people.